Preparing.
Honestly,
There we go. We are live.
Live. Nice.
We are live.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Hello, everyone, and welcome
Hello.
to episode 1. Love this. A lot of firsts
Pilot
this
episode.
lockdown. The pilot episode.
The pilot episode.
The pilot. Yeah, we'll see if the big decision makers want to extend us for season 2. So let's do a good job, guys. Okay, no pressure.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
sweet. I suppose a little introduction is in order.
Yes, a little introduction.
Yeah.
So, Maddie, seeing that you are chatting, yeah, will you
Yes.
maybe you can get us going?
Right. Hello, world, and whoever who's watching. My name is Matthew Arnold. I am co-owner with that man over there.
Oh, you there?
Oh, am I there? Well,
Which angle?
that's or whichever direction.
Yes.
So we've been. This is our 4th year of business.
Cricket coaches.
Yeah, cricket coaches. I currently play for the Momentum Multiplied Titans. It's my 2nd season, and I as well play for Easton's Cricket Union. So that's currently what I'm doing. Yeah, that's a little bit about me. I don't want to bore you guys too much with who I support and why I support them and all that stuff. So
Yeah, no. We're talking cricket here today.
we're talking cricket. Yeah.
We're talking cricket. Oh, Moats is going to join us. Okay, so I'm Jody. Like Matt said, co-owner of the Cricket Coaches. We've been going at this for about 4 years now. I think it's actually 5 years, Matt. End of June, it's 5 years.
End of June is 5. Yeah, I always get it mixed
End of
up
June
with
is 5.
financial years and like
Yes,
like
yes.
framework
We
financial years.
yeah.
So
Hey, Moatsy, and so yeah. So my
What's
I
happening?
suppose,
What's happening?
I suppose thanks Moatsy for turning sideways there. Yeah, so I suppose I'm currently going forward as the performance coach at the Cricket Coaches, so focusing really more on the mental development of cricketers, all types of athletes, but cricketers in particular here at the Cricket Coaches. Then I don't know, to one of my sides, we've got I think currently the oldest coach with us, not in terms of physical age, but he's been with us the longest, Mr. Gareth Saunders. So Gaza, I don't know, anything you want to throw out there? Yeah.
No, not really. Just my name is Gareth, obviously, and I've been with the academy for. I think I've been there for 4 years now, so definitely 5 years. The academy's been around for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just one of the coaches at the academy. I no longer play at the moment, but I have been playing for a long time, and hopefully I can start playing again soon. But yeah, that's pretty much me.
Cool. Then Tiba, Tabani Moyo.
I don't have much to say. I'm Tabani, from Zimbo, a Zimbo boy.
Our token Zimbo in the house here.
Yeah, and I've been in South Africa for about, I think, 4 or 5 years, and coaching with the cricket coaches, and it's something that I've been enjoying for the past, I think, 3 or 4 years. I don't know. Maybe I have to double check with the bosses. Yeah. And currently playing at Rwanda Cricket Club, the Premier League, and yeah, looking forward to be playing more.
Cool. And then we have Moats Lerato Mohata. He's the newest member to our academy.
What's happening, boss?
He's actually I went on to the meeting to tell him, hey, come now, come. He actually does all our strength and conditioning. He does all of our strength and conditioning, and he had our online fitness guys. I think he had 2 sessions for the academy today, like the beginner class and the advanced class. So
yeah, as guys, as the boss says, I'm a newbie, like I'm a youngster. I've only been with the franchise, the organization, as I like to say, for November, December, January, February, March, April, May. Yeah, 7 months. Yeah. So approached Jody. There's a backstory to that, and I was like, look, boss, you know, what do you reckon? And he was like, "Hey, hundreds, brother, come aboard.
Let's just go. Let's
Yeah,
just go.
come aboard. Let's just go." And here we are. And yeah, currently we are doing some what you call online SNC work. Our advanced class is every single day. The boys are being punished properly. They're nice and sore, nice and stiff, but we stretch them properly. And we got a beginners class twice a week. But no, like, you know, just to give the boys a taster, because, you know, there's aspiration that these young boys have. And we're like, listen, let's just give you a taste of the lifestyle that professionals live. So one thing that we must change also is their eating plans. That's what we're going to start giving the boys.
I think it's good, because a lot of kids, I think it's just about bowling it and catching it and hitting it.
Yeah.
There's other aspects that go into it. And that last one that you touched on, what you put into your body,
is huge.
Huge. So I think you've just come across something. I think that's something we must definitely start guiding.
Guiding on, because obviously, you know, we can give guidance and advice to, especially, let's say, parents, because they can provide the necessary financial resources for the kids. But at the end of the day, it is up to the kid to be like, you know what, I need to put in good fuel, good substance in my body, so I can always, you know, perform at my best.
Empowering kids earlier to take, you know, control of that. And it's for the better. You know, because then that could filter into many other things, you know. So that's what it's about. So I like it. That's very
so
cool.
we're building,
We're building.
Yeah, maybe just a thought from my side that hasn't been mentioned around the strength and conditioning. So that we split it into that beginners class and advanced class because we found that Moats pushes nice and hard to, you know, with some kids in terms of the intensity and the energy that's required for the sessions. And we just had some feedback to say, listen, my kid can't keep up with that. So we introduced these two beginner classes where the focus is a little bit more on making sure movement is done correctly, squats are done correctly, lunges are done correctly and maybe the intensity is a little bit lower, just to get younger cricketers sort of saying, you know what, I can actually start understanding this idea of fitness and getting better at it in an environment where I'm learning the good stuff, you know.
You know what, Coach, that's so important, because I remember Jeff had something there at the Lions gym where it was this power lifter for America or something like that. He perfected his technique with a broomstick.
Yes.
You know, so it's just like, that's always stuck with me, that especially with regards to gym work. Your technique has to be so good, because if a guy at that level can perfect it, broomstick, like, and especially now, like, if you think you don't need everything, you literally work with a broomstick. It's just like, because it's quite relevant. So.
It is like, it very much is.
Cool. So gents, so this COVID thing is obviously going around, and I think slowly people are feeling very agitated in their homes and things like that, and it's maybe not necessarily to speak about the normal things that we hear around it, you know, the stay safe and that. I think what I would like to sort of get your feedback on is, you see a lot of on a lot of these cricket sort of websites at this point in time, you get a lot of comments about cricket actually returning at some point, but maybe in empty stadiums. And so I don't know, what's your guys' thoughts? Matt, you've played in front of crowds. You've done that. Like, what is the difference, you know?
So I've played in front of no crowd, and I've played in front of crowd. I played in front of ground staff. I don't know if that counts, but I've played in front of crowd. And when you've played in front of crowd, it's a whole different ballgame. That's what you're looking for. So, and I think that people speaking about not playing in front of crowds are used to playing in front of 100,000 people. Now you go and then do that and play and put those teams together, and then they're going to play. I just think maybe the intensity drops off a tad, and you know, you feed off the crowd, and you know, it's that extra, it's that other pressure. You know, you've got 100,000 Indian people, you know, screaming Virat, and you've got to go and bowl. You know, and the guys on 100, like, it's a completely different pressure. So
What do you guys think, Tibau, Gareth, Moats? What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, so I think before the whole lockdown was initiated, they had those few ODIs with, was it England? Not England, New Zealand and Australia. And then they had no people in the stands. And it hasn't got the same feel to it. And you can understand it. You can understand why they've done what they did, but it hasn't got the same feeling about it. It doesn't have the same, like Matt said, that intensity, and the enjoyment is sort of taken away from the game, I think.
Yeah. I'm just curious though, because when we speak of intensity, would you then expect the performance levels to drop or to stay at a high quality?
Subconsciously, I'm sure it would.
I personally don't think it will drop.
Okay.
I think the guys are. It's like Virat Kohli. You're telling me that guy's not. He's got a like a thing for scoring runs. It doesn't matter who's.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's where maybe internal drivenness, like you still. Still, But I just think crowd adds. But speaking about job losses, like I actually think if we can do that, then we should, because then people can get back to work. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like these people, we can start commentate. Like I was just watching the UFC, and it was so good to watch live sport again. Granted, you guys are punching each other's faces. We have guys there. It's like, yes, I think the world is going to be different. But then if we can get commentators back in, guys can start playing the game again. People can start watching. So at least, might be something. Because if we have to wait, we might wait for a while. So.
Yeah, there's actually, it was like a live video of Nono Pongolo, and I can't remember who it was, when he was saying when they were playing and he was bowling to Sachin and people were actually chanting Sachin, Sachin. And I can imagine when people are Sachin, and in his mind, actually he was bowling to him, but his mind was actually chanting Sachin, Sachin.
Same but different.
It's going to be a big impact to people, and I think cricket will be just different altogether. And it does actually give that boost to the players when they are playing. So
I have two thoughts about this. So the first is the first comes from another international cricketer, Jofra Archer, where he said, he wants them, they can play on empty stadiums, but they must play like crowd noise through the speaker. And when there's a boundary, cheer,
clap.
So I can only imagine that in India they would actually get a whole bunch of people going, Kohli, Kohli, and then play that through the speaker system.
Crazy.
Well, they would be that creative. Well, whatever we need to do to get that guy to play it to his best, Otherwise,
exactly.
So my other thought is, I think the height of cricket is to play in front of those crowds, where what we'll almost get is we'll see international cricket be played like club cricket. If that makes sense. I think sometimes we look at cricket, at international cricket, and we think it's so far away. Having had the privilege to work at with some cricketers in those higher levels, I don't think the skill gap is, or let me rather say it like this: the higher you go, it's smaller things that make the difference. To the guy at the bottom here, it looks like it's a long way away, but it's actually just this close. But the difference is a small thing. It's a small mindset tweak. It's a small technical tweak. It's a small intention tweak. It's a small skill tweak. It's adding a little bit of a refinement to your game, hiding something a little bit better. Well, that's my sense, is that it's almost like we might be able to identify what some of those gaps are, those smaller gaps are, because now these guys they're not playing. There is none of this outside stuff affecting them. It's like a club cricketer.
He's gone as well.
Those are my thoughts on it. It would be interesting if they start playing things through loudspeakers and have guys, all sorts of weird things happen.
And the DJ play the Boomrah track. Boomrah, Boomrah.
Play and miss every time there's a play and miss. Ooh.
Incredible scene.
Brilliant.
Incredible scene. Incredible scene.
Very big gun.
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually brilliant.
Can you imagine that?
Mhm.
No.
Do you think
something.
do you think if they record that they'll put like different accents on it? So if it's the Indian bowling attack, there's different spice and flavor versus if it's like India plays England. So when England comes on, they've got different soundtrack. But
Barmy Army.
South Africa's
That'll be interesting.
The Barmy Army, they want the Barmy Army to do some tracks because they're going to have to do a lot of singing there. So the Barmy Army.
Yeah.
And half of those songs are R-rated in any case. Like, you can't have that playing
Monetize it.
now.
Yeah, I can't have that.
Can you imagine? Incredible. Incredible.
Yeah. So there's one or two comments here quickly. So Maddie, the Campbells are saying they because I'm understanding where this comes from. So if you just look at all of our faces and you look at your face, the comment is that maybe you should grow a beard like the guy on your shirt.
I know, right? That's what I'm wearing. Channeling my inner beard. I'm like,
yeah. And then bats, balls, and breaking zones says, wouldn't any cricket, even behind closed doors, be better than no cricket? And then he also said, empty stadiums are better than no cricket to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I know, I think I agree 100%. I think all of us want to see cricket. I mean, you know, we want to be able to watch the game. So I'm not disagreeing. I don't think that's what we're disputing here, whether we should play or not play. It's just when we play, how's it going to be?
Yeah.
How's it all going to work out? You know, because
I
there's
can
these
say,
things.
Yeah. Like we played a warm-up game. There was like a combined 11 playing against the Spartans, right? So there was no warm-up game. But then trust, when you're running in bowling at AB, believe me, the intensity level is there. So I don't think the level of intensity and skill is going to drop because of you know, that stuff. But it just adds a dynamic. I think it does add a little pressure. It does. I mean, I watched Stuart Broad. They had those highlights where Yuvraj was dispatching him there in Durban. And like, you're telling me if there was no crowd, you know, maybe he executes one there. But the 36 goes, Stuart Broad goes red. Yeah. They're like, Collingwood's like, bowler wide Yorker. He's like, slot.
Yeah.
No, like, it's different. Yeah. Man. It's different.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah.
Very, very
yeah, so here's another comment from Anton Müller. He says, would performance maybe be improved because there's less pressure from the crowd? And so I think that I think that depends on the cricketer, because I think there's some cricketers that thrive, to focus. They play at their best when there is a crowd. There's cricketers that don't like that and they have to learn to deal with a crowd. I think that's actually a lot of cricketers, like if you think of the local South African cricket scene, other than the MSL in that first year, I mean, if there's a big crowd at the Wanderers for a local 50, there's about 3,000 people there, which is quite a lot, but this is a 30,000 stadium. So it's not, I mean, I've been in that stadium. It's like a club game where there's a couple of people clapping next to a field. You know? That's sort of the ambiance you get. And so I think it's a huge adjustment for players to actually, when they start playing and they walk out onto a field and there's all of 30,000 people, there's a lot of cricketers that have to learn to make that adjustment. Yeah. And so I mean, if guys are, like you said, Matt, if guys are having middle sessions or they're prepping for the game, it's always with smaller crowds. So I think there's maybe it's maybe a little bit more transferable in that way. Yeah. You know.
So Jody,
we are at times in a situation where there's not a lot of people watching us play. So they're used to that. So it's just applying that sort of how do we now do this while trying to be competitive, because now we're actually trying to win the game.
Correct.
Yeah. So I was just on that train of thought. So when you say different cricketers, you are saying everybody has what you call maybe mental triggers that affect performance.
Yeah. And everybody's is different.
Yeah, and everyone's different.
Everybody's is different.
Okay.
Yeah. Tibo, what do you think? All quiet there by your lonesome. What do you think of all this stuff?
They say when elders are speaking, you keep quiet.
Good, Tiba.
Oh, Tiba.
When these keep quiet.
Tiba, you're here to take part of the show. You're here to take part of the show. So come. We want your thoughts. We want your thoughts.
The man's under pressure. You see, it's a mental
Under
trigger.
pressure, it's a mental trigger. He can't cope. Eh?
He can't cope.
Take us off live, Jody. Take us off live.
If anybody wants to know what it's like at the cricket coaches, there's a little bit of a taste for you.
Yeah, that is
I will be honest, that's the part I miss the most, is the banter at the nets. I'm enjoying the break.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying the break on my body and my shoulders and getting to do my exercises almost every day fairly consistently, getting a little bit stronger and more flexible. But I miss the banter. I miss it a lot.
Yeah,
So,
especially what we've been wanting to have is to have Matt and Mott at the same time. Yes.
Yeah, we haven't had Matt around the nets.
It's gonna be crazy.
Incredible.
Now, so Tiba, your thoughts? Come on, crowds, no
Come
crowds.
on, T-Bag. No crowds.
Sound, like what? How do you think it's going to be? What do you think it's going to be like?
Yeah, with the sounds. Sure.
I think when Tiba says it like this, I'm thinking the guy. You know when bowlers do these funny things where. At one point in time, there was a guy and he would run up like an elephant and they would like do all these. Imagine a sound guy, where you have these bloopers in movies and they do funny sounds. Imagine if you played a cricket game and out of nowhere this funny sound comes. The sound guy is like, I'm going to be funny. And he puts like a baby crying in there, and an elephant.
So that thing with that guy, like those oaks that carry the coffin.
Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah.
Put that on.
Different mental strength is going to be needed. Different levels. I think chirping can fall by the wayside.
But I can imagine if you're not number one fan of whoever is responsible for the sound, if you're not his number one fan, like there can be incredible sounds that
Well, imagine he doesn't rate you. He's like,
Nah. We must test this guy a bit, eh? We must test this guy a bit.
Yeah.
Put some funny sounds out there. So just on that, we did say a little coaching tip, and I've been struggling for one, to be perfectly honest. But on this, I actually did this thing once. So coaching tip for today. So people who struggle with sound in their minds. I actually did this with my brother a couple of years ago, and I created an hour-long, because we tend to have like hour-long batting sessions with cricketers. So I created an hour-long audio track with all sorts of weird and random and unexpected sounds. So it could be like traffic, cop car driving past, then an ambulance sort of sound, then a baby crying, then like a cricket going in the middle of the night, then... And so what I did was I had the sound sort of go, and then with some of them I messed around. So like short, longer, just when you think it's over, then it comes again sort of thing. Yeah. With others, it was like long, then a bit short. And I also played with like the gaps and the spaces. And so if you're interested in seeing how you respond with these things, go and, I mean, you can download these types of software easily from the internet. You can get sounds easily. And then puzzle it together on some system that just allows you, like a GarageBand on a Mac or on an iPhone, or I'm sure that your Android products has something similar that you could use. And then play that in the background, like put that boombox next to you, play that in the background and see how you respond. Is there things that throws your game off or throws your attention off? I don't think people would kill me. Yeah, I can imagine at this point in time. It's like, okay, now I'm awake now. Now I'm awake.
Yeah. Now, okay, there we go. Yeah. That's a cool one, actually. That's a good idea.
Yeah, so it's not something people do often, but
no.
Yeah.
Definitely out the box, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little
train your ability to focus.
Train your ability to focus. Yeah. Stay in the moment, not get distracted by the things around you.
because you hear a lot of players say, how did you achieve this or how did you achieve that? He says, my ability to stay in the moment helps better my performance. And I think a lot of our boys actually, you know, they could learn something. Like, don't think of what will I do when I get to this point or to that point. Just stay in the moment.
Yeah.
No, enjoy the process. Enjoy the process.
Yeah. Oh, Moats, I tell you what, spitting wisdom, mate.
Words, yeah.
Spitting wisdom.
Take over. You keep going. It's great.
Yes. No, because I just think you look at certain kids and they, you know, I want to do this, I want to do that, and then you ask them, okay, how are you going to do that? And they're like, no, I'm just going to play the game. Like, no, like, yes, everyone wants to play the game, but you want to achieve certain something. Obviously, you have to break it down. What's the first step to achieving your goal?
So you think that's where the coach is going to step in and say, okay, it's great that you've got big, wonderful ambitions and whatnot. Let's plan it out. Do you think a lot of coaches do that?
Huh.
Or do you think they just say, no, do this, stay present. But what does that mean? Because staying present for you and staying present for me
is completely different, But
it's the same if we say, if it's the same, so maybe just for everybody listening, it's the same if you say concentrate.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Like Moats.
Yeah.
Concentrate now, bud.
But what does concentrate mean though? Like,
exactly. It means nothing. It means nothing.
Okay.
And so it's the same with, you know, be present. So I think to understand what you do in order to be present and to focus on that, that's what it means to understand the process and focus on the process. So it's that you know the doing part of it and you are doing it.
It's like all dots. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like that for me
means nothing.
It's exactly what you preach to. All dots. But it's just like I can bowl a dot completely different to where Gareth can, to how Tiba can, to however. You know? So
I'm just gonna hit a good area.
That's the plan. What
I'm just gonna hit a good area.
Coach, I just want to hit my areas. What are those?
Whatever they are.
Yeah, whatever
they are, bro.
Could be anything really.
They kept hitting you for 6. Yeah, coach, but it was in my area.
Yeah, I think
Elliot was in his too, bud.
Yeah, but I think that's a lot of the problem is I think kids watch cricket and they're like, okay, they're gonna bowl dots now, right? And this is the chat from the commentators like, okay, they're gonna bowl dots now. So, which is right, and they're probably calling it right. But the guy that's executing the skill knows exactly how to do that, and then he goes and does that. Whereas the kids are like, "Yo, I'm gonna bowl dots, coach, dots. I got you." They got no idea how they're gonna do that. Got no idea. And I think that's the big thing is that process. Okay, well, how are you gonna do that in this period at this time? Because it changes, it shifts, you know, depending on.
So the Campbell's over here says it means focus. So I'm assuming that's on the concentrate thing, but that's the same thing. It means nothing. Focus now. Like,
focus.
But if I said to you, make sure that every single ball, you have nothing in your mind and you watch the ball. If I said, and you did that, so here comes the ball. All my attention is going to just seeing the ball. Then what am I doing? I am concentrating. I am focusing.
I suppose that's why, like Ricky Potting used to. I saw like again watching replays. It's like watch the ball. That's what he used to do. So I suppose that speaks to that mental trigger to clearing my mind. I'm watching the ball. So then he is focused. He is in the moment because he's watching that specific ball coming in.
Gareth, Tiba, thoughts? Come.
So then, if we say focus, we could actually speak.
Wait, no, Moats.
Oh.
Moats.
Back of the line.
You know the other guy. No. Yes, back of the line. you know, in our business, we got to give everybody a chance. So let's give them their chance. Everybody's opinion is valuable.
So what I want to say with see, don't laugh. So with your whole focus and concentration thing, when it comes to, for example, batting, what I tend to tell the kids is you can't concentrate for the entire over straight throughout. So generally what I tell them is break it up into stages. So like start concentrating when the ball is at the top of his mark, and then stop once the ball's like, for example, in the keeper's hand or something like that. Because otherwise, you have to be able to switch off. I think it's very important to maintain the balance of concentrating and then switching off for a bit.
100%.
Yeah. So learning to switch on and learning to switch it off.
100% right.
And what switches on and what switches off for the individual.
Yeah.
One thing that plays a big role in that, it would be more of enjoying the moment, because we can talk of focusing, but if he's not enjoying the moment, then that's something else altogether. So it's more of the kid enjoying the moment, then it can be easy for him to be switching on and off, because obviously there will be many things that will be playing in his mind and trying to focus on whatever you guys are doing. So it will be a thing of him switching from whatever he was thinking of and to back to what you guys will be working on. So it's more of enjoying the moment.
The young one has also some wisdom in him, eh?
Yeah, I know, not all of them. we have seen special characters.
Yeah, we have some special characters.
Oh no!
No doubt.
Listen, I don't think this is the forum to talk about all the special characters we have.
We'll need a complete new,
definitely.
Season 2, we'll get into that.
Season 2, we'll have to get. I think we've got to get written permission and make sure we cover ourselves well, because we do have some special ones. We definitely have some special ones.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes me think of something.
Yes.
How much information do you load on a boy then?
Depends on the child, I guess.
If you understand, like what I'm trying to get at. So,
Moat, you're only allowed. Moat,
yeah,
you're only allowed 4 understands in this show. You've used one now. You've used one.
Mute him, eh? Let me just mute him.
I've used one. Okay, I got 3 more left.
3 more left.
It's
Okay, let's say, and I used to do this, I think a lot, is you used to, when I started coaching, it used to be, okay, cool, focus on where's your foot pointing, and then it's okay, head, and then elbow, and then swing your bat, and then finishing position. And by the time this kid's got no idea, because he's thinking foot, elbow, head, weight, what shot am I trying to hit? The drill is this. I'm working on rotation. So, and that's something I learned from Jody, was to, make sure the one thing, so identify the core thing that is going to help this kid improve immediately. So if that's swinging the bat, then that's what you focus on. If he's swinging the bat and falling over or whatever the case is, but spend the time to get the bat swing correct, because then you can fix the balance, then it will all sort of flow that way. You know, you can't put 10 pounds of weight into a 2-pound bag, you know? And if you think about it, we have an hour at sometimes a week. Now you can't, and that's why I think cricket skill at times it does take time to develop, because if the kid is not putting in work outside or whatever the case is, if he's just coming to you for that hour a week, 4 hours a week, a month, it's like there's not a lot of time, you know? So for me, it's a case of rather make it quality versus quantity. So there's sometimes Jody would throw balls and I would say to him, but you hardly said anything. It's like, I didn't have to. And to me, a lot of the times we word vomit a lot on kids. We literally unload. It's like wrist position, this, drive, whatever. Versus let's just focus on this one specific thing. Let's make sure it's good. It's working how it needs to. Boom. Sorry,
I understand that.
I think Tima went. Maybe there's an internet issue there. Yeah. So I agree with that 100%, Matt. I agree that. Shucks. I agree that we've got so the way we always refer to is like we layer skills at the cricket coaches. So we first do one skill. Once the kid has that component of the skill, we add the next skill or the next component. And so instead of on day one trying to teach everything about the cover drive, as an example, we teach one component of the cover drive, get the child better at that, or the cricketer better at that. And then once they sort of have an understanding and they can do it, then we start putting the next, and in 6 months you arrive at the net and you go, wow, this kid can play. I've got the impression that if you every session try and fix everything, in 6 months' time, you've still got a confused cricketer.
And I find that the tough part is sometimes the cricketer doesn't see the growth.
Yeah.
But whereas if you're doing that layering process and you're very clear on that, which I think we've got quite a good grasp on, you can see that, oh wait, like 4 weeks ago he couldn't do that. Now but he doesn't get it. He's like, oh, I've just hit it. Like I've just done it. It's just like happened.
Muscle memory.
Yeah, exactly. So very, very cool.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So Saliva on the ball. Apparently Kookaburra has we're still with the COVID thing and getting back to cricket.
Yeah.
So apparently Kookaburra have developed something that you can shine the ball with without using your saliva. Because I'm assuming guys, we play with masks, but you still want to do something with the ball or see that you can work it a little bit. I don't know. What's your guys' take on that, eh?
Who's got it? Like a specific player or the umpires, or because?
No, I think the umpire will then hold that thing, and then it'll most probably be regulated how many times in an over or how much you can apply, and then the umpire will have to do it.
Yeah. Huh.
Very interesting.
I think Vaseline in a pocket's a thing, eh?
Yeah, I think
Make it legal.
I don't think it's the right thing necessarily, but
make it legal. Because I mean, yes.
Yeah.
It's tough being a bowler in this
game, I think.
I'm all for it because it will be, as long as it's going to be for both sides, and if it gets the guys back on. I don't know. I've heard things that it's going to be masks. So like what Shamo wore, he had that celebration. He wore that mask. Yeah. And I think he got. I don't know. Don't quote me on this, but I think he almost got abused for that. Like I think the ICC or whoever the tournament was like, listen, you can't do that. Not right. That might now be a staple. You might have to do that.
Yeah.
And now fielding with gloves, but now when you bowl, like, are you going to bowl the glove on, or can you take the glove off? Or no, if I'm sweating,
exactly, you're doing that.
Coming
up on the ball.
Then are they going to? So there's so many permutations. Like
so the thing,
social distancing. If you're at slip. No, I
didn't even know that.
They're going to
have in front of me either. Don't do that.
And people won't chase the ball. When you chase the ball, apparently you've got to be 6 meters apart. They've said because from the breathing. So if we're chasing balls, I've got to make sure I'm 6 meters away from you.
But it's streamlined. You can't because it's a thing. It's a real thing.
Listen, where's umpires going to stand? Because some bowlers get like really close to the stumps, and then if there is saliva and stuff that comes out of their mouth, then umpires could be in trouble. Oh, it's going to be interesting. I haven't actually thought of all of this stuff.
Yeah.
One interesting comment I did hear on this is that they said that if there's a series to be played, there'll be like a 2-week quarantine period before it. So then by the time the series starts, if there's nobody else, like no people that are on quarantine will be allowed to take part of the tournament. And it's almost like isolation quarantine. So you spend time by yourself. If in 2 weeks' time you clear, then we can go on the field and play because we know nobody's got the virus.
Yeah.
That's sort of one theory I heard, because then the game can actually just be played because we know that nobody's tested positive for it, and so we can go ahead, we can play the game like normal.
The one thing I was thinking, how do you regulate that saliva institute? Because I mean, if you think it could change the whole dynamic of how the ball swings, for example, it could bring bowlers back into the game.
Yeah, bring us back, man.
It could change a whole lot.
Gareth said it like it's a bad thing. It could bring bowlers.
But then again, 400 runs in ODI becomes less of a spectators game, perhaps.
I suppose they'll do testing, I'm sure. Like
Yeah,
a certain amount of applications, like
realistic as possible.
you know. But like, how do they do that? How do they simulate that? So they get a guy, they through a bowling machine, the guy hits the ball, then this guy then shines it, and then they. I suppose these guys that
Test it, yeah.
Trial and error.
trial and error, yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be interesting.
Just a thought. You know that 14-day quarantine, does that fall into your preparation time or outside it?
I suppose it's going to be interesting, because you would most probably have to be in that 14-day quarantine before you get on the plane to leave your country. So by the time you leave, everybody knows that. Like, then most probably the pilots and everybody that's involved with that's gonna
Probably becomes the issue.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
I think.
It's gonna be very interesting.
Over to you, ICC.
Yeah.
No response. No response.
Yeah. Incredible.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I think that's going to be really interesting. Bats, balls, and breaking zone says if your slips are 1 meter apart, your captain needs help.
I mean, it's pretty valid.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I mean, what is the distance? It's a meter, or is it like, what is it?
Well, I think that's just going up and up and up at this point in time. You know.
I was watching Sky Sports, like 2 and a bit or something like that, like 2.5 meters.
Yeah. I saw an article, like a scientific article, that said if you run, don't run behind the person, got to run next to each other, and because it showed this whole thing about the trail of like, even if it's just sweat that comes off a body, it's up to 6 meters. That makes me think like the Comrades Marathon is like a gross place to be. Like, let's be honest, 80,000 people. And if you think of that starting line, or how they run in those packs, or you think of cyclists at 100 k's an hour and they sit in that little pack, what they're breathing in, it's actually scary.
We are disgusting as a human.
We are
Honestly, we're disgusting. I'm surprised we've gone this far. What a time! Incredible.
Okay, cool. Let's get back on track here. So, who do you guys think is the best cover driver of the cricket ball in the modern era? So let's not talk all time. Let's say guys that are currently playing, best cover driver of a cricket ball.
Currently playing.
Babar Azam.
Babar Azam, eh?
Babar Azam. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, Babar's got a good one, eh?
Yeah.
That's what we think of the left-hander better.
Does it have to be
serious cover drive?
Aiden Martin?
Wow. I've seen it a
Does
lot.
it have to be orthodox though? Does it have to be orthodox?
What your idea of best is?
Nah, I mean,
You can just throw your hands at it. Yeah.
Okay, but Matt, throw us yours. Who do you think best cover driver?
I'm thinking a little bit. Thinking.
Yeah, like I don't know. I think if it's exquisite, if it's technically sound, that's perfect.
Okay, yes,
whatever.
Great. Who's that?
I just want to have some flair to it, Just to
so who's that for you?
hands,
So who's that for you?
Yes, there's a lot of good oaks, A lot of good oaks you can cover drive. But when he hits it, I'm like a shot boy.
Let's see.
It's definitely like for me, like it's Steve, Like Steve Smith. Like when he, yes.
Okay.
I think he's got the best. I think he's got the best cover drive. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to lean towards trying to think someone that are undercover. Someone undercover. Sri Lanka. I'm gonna have to stick with a left-hander here because I'm left-handed.
Has to be.
Yeah.
Before you added the modern era, I was gonna say Sangha, obviously.
Oh.
But then,
yeah,
I was gonna say Sangha. So I'm gonna go with Benjamin Stokes. Or KG. KG's got a beautiful cover drive.
So it's very interesting because we always say lefties We always say lefties have a beautiful cover drive, yet we've all gone. So I was kind of sitting. Is Matt going to say right-hander? Is he going to say left-hander? No, Matty went for the left-hander.
No, went for the lefty boy. I was going to say
But-
Clayton August. August.
But this is then actually an interesting question. How many like really good left-handed batters are there if we're leaning more towards the right-handers here? Like if you think back in the day, you had Lara, Sangakkara,
Hayden.
Warner,
Hayden, Langer.
Matthew Hayden, Langer. Like, are there left-handed batters of that ilk still around, or not? Are they a little bit like chicken teeth?
David Warner is probably one of the better ones around now.
Yeah.
Left-handers. Folks. South Africa, Quinny.
Yeah, Quinny.
I'll go.
Doesn't need a lot of cover drives though.
Dean.
He slashes them all through point.
Yeah.
Who's Australia?
Kawaja,
Who's man?
and then Travis Head.
Travis.
Sean Marshall was the decent though.
Oh no, Matty Wade's right-handed. Oh, Matty Wade, left-handed.
Matty Wade.
Matthew Wade, left-handed.
Left-handed, yeah.
But none of them are pretty cover drivers though, eh? Not really. Like you go, yo.
It's a sexy cover drive, yeah.
Sean Marsh used to be, but I think he's
Sean Marsh.
he's no longer.
Nice one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Not
Yeah.
many left-handed.
Not many. Interesting.
Yeah. But there is nothing like a left-hander hitting a cover drive. Let's be honest. Like it is actually pretty decent.
This whole better, yeah.
Maybe what comes really close is like a right-handed batter who hits a gun on drive. Like, you know, those that are just balanced. That are just balanced, and it's like smooth as butter. I think that's proper.
Yeah.
Baba.
Okay, last thing for this show. I don't know if Moats did his homework because he decided to join us a bit late. But we set ourselves the challenge to pick a T20 cricket team from all the test playing nations, and we could only pick one player from each nation. Yeah.
One player.
One player per nation.
Huh.
Yeah, there's 12 nations, so that includes a 12th man. So I don't know, who wants to go first? Who wants to have a dip at it first? Gareth, have you done your homework?
I have. I'm happy to throw names out here, yeah.
Okay, come on, hit us up, Gareth. Gaza.
It's not in any specific order, but...
No order, batting order.
Oh, you got to put them in a batting order, otherwise it's like...
Batting order.
Okay, cool. So I got Rohit Sharma.
Okay.
Oh, so no Kohli, okay.
India,
No Kohli,
yeah, no Kohli.
Sharma, yeah. Thought I'd mix up a bit. So Sharma, and then I have Martin Guptill.
Okay.
Okay.
Joey Root is I'm a massive fan of Root. 4 was...
T20 cricket.
T20 cricket, he's got Roots at 3.
No Root.
Okay.
He's your Kane Williamson, Matt. Same guy.
I'm leaving the meeting right now.
Listen, Kane can strike at 140, eh?
He
Can actually do that.
Yeah.
Is he going to captain your team? Joe?
Well, I'm a fan of him, so yes, he will.
Oh, shucks.
He's everything, yeah. Okay, so then Steve Smith 4, Babar Azam 5, Quinny at 6. From Bangladesh, I got Mushfiqur Rahim.
Is he going to keep and bat 7?
Yeah.
No, but he's got Quinny at 6.
I've got 2 keepers, yeah, but Quinny can just bat, yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
Quinny to field. Okay, cool.
Do you know if Quinny wants to field?
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, no, he doesn't
I
like
don't think you
the third man.
Okay, yeah.
Who's bowling the ball?
So Rashid Khan at 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Avishka Fernando is my Sri Lankan. He's an all-rounder, so he bowls leg spin and he's like really gun batter. But yeah, he's there. Sri Lankans I'll struggle to
That's
find
at 9.
decent players from. Yes. But he's a leggy, so he can do both.
Okay.
But I struggle to find Sri Lankans, but anyway. Alzori Joseph, my West Indian. Some heat there.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. And then my New Zealand bowler, I got Trent Bolt.
Yeah. No, you can't have a New Zealand bowler. You've got Guptill.
No, dude, you got
Oh,
Guptill.
damn it, I got Guptill. Damn it. So who am I missed out then? Yeah.
Zimbabwe.
I gotta go to Zimbabwe. Oh well, I had a batter here, but he's a 12th man, so which
Okay, no,
bowlers
so if
can
you
I
have a
from
You can have Carl Mumba.
Bangladesh, you've got
Carl Mumba,
Bangladesh.
yeah. Got Bangladesh,
Yeah.
got
Yeah,
Australia there.
Ireland.
Ireland, yes.
Yeah, from Ireland. 12th man.
Oh, okay, so bowler from Ireland, I got Boyd Rankin.
Okay, cool. Boy.
Okay,
Boydie, yeah.
sweet.
7-foot monster.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Okay, not too bad. Not too bad.
That's my
Maddie,
team,
you or
yeah.
me?
George, you can go.
Okay, I'll go. Right, so I've gone.
Might be close. I think you and I will not be close.
I've gone. No, I'm going to throw up a surprise, a curveball or two, I think.
There you go.
I've gone De Kock to open. Why would you bat Quinny at 6, Gareth? He's an opening batter in white ball cricket. But
Why say
nonetheless,
No,
nonetheless,
Why is there a
This team I didn't put in order. I just chucked the names out there. Knowing told me to put in order. I was like, oh shit, man.
Quinny to open. Quinny to open and to
Yeah.
keep wicket.
Okay.
Then I really struggled with my second opener because I thought about Sharma, I thought about Warner, but because we could only pick one from like each team, then it becomes really difficult. So I thought, well, those teams with cricketers I don't know so well, I did a bit of research. I'm going to actually have a Sri Lankan opening the batting with Quinny, Pereira.
Pereira,
Oh,
yeah.
Puzzle.
And then I've got wicket keeping backup. Yeah, if there's an injury to my wicket keeper, I've got 2 wicket keepers in the side. But that's my 2 openers. Then I'm going to go Williamson at 3, most probably to captain 2. I'll go Smith at 4, Babar Azam at 5, Ben Stokes at 6. It's a tough choice for me to pick a Pommy, but I'll go with Stokes.
Yeah, too.
Then I'll go Sakib Al Hassan, left arm spinner at number 7. Dre Russ, my West Indian. I've gone Bumrah as my Indian because I thought bowling attacks be winning you tournaments, gents, not batting lineups. Then I went Rashid Khan. Obviously, I think he would be the one from Afghanistan everybody would pick, other than maybe that other spinner they have. And then I went Boyd Rankin as well, and I went Brendan Taylor from Zimbabwe as my 12th man. So I got some batting cover. So steamers would be Stokes, Russell, Bumrah, Rankin. Those are my seamers. And then I've got spin in Rashid and Sakib Al Hassan. They both turn it the same way, I know, but I thought one's like a bit of mystery and the other one rolls.
Yeah, the one is, yeah.
Yeah, that's my team.
Where's Dre Russ batting? 9, 8.
8, yeah. No, but he'll most probably float in a T20. So so in terms of roles, he'll most probably bat higher. But that's most probably what the batting lineup will say on the screen. That's the batting lineup. But if it gets like back end, then my boy will be batting a little bit sooner. Yeah. He's situation dependent. Yeah. Okay, Matty.
Okay.
Yes, hit us.
I've gone match winners, guys that are going to win me games, and multiple people I believe that can win me games. So I've gone Joss Butler, keep open that. Babar Azam. I mean, I think he's like number 1 batter.
He's ranked 1,
He is ranked. Okay. Open the batting, those 2. Virat Kohli, because I know if they want us to chase, come on, he's going to win us. Okay, so Kohli at 3. Then I've gone Shakib Al Hassan at 4.
Okay.
Then Maxwell at 5, match winner, the big shot.
Okay. Yeah.
Right?
Good shot.
And then I've gone Sean Williams, underrated little player. I did a little from Zim, right?
Oh, Zim. I considered him. I really considered him.
And does this. I think he's up there all-rounder stats, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's up there.
He's definitely top 10. I think like 8.
I was considering him.
Right, because I thought I'm going to need, Maxi can give me that, but I think, whatever, right? So then, right, so he's 6, okay? Then I'm going Dre Russ at 7. I'm going Chris Morris at 8. I'm going Rashid Khan at 9. I'm going Lochte Ferguson at 10, because I'm going to want guys to bowl. I want him to just bowl 100 Ks. And I've got Lasith Malinga. I mean, Mr. T20 himself.
That's a Matt. You've done well, eh? You've done
Good
well.
side, right? So I've got
Yeah,
India,
you've done well.
Done well.
Ferguson, Morris, Dreras, 4 seamers, and then I've got Rashid Khan, I've got Maxwell, Williams, and I've got Shakib Al Hassan, and to cap it all off, I've got a ginger carrying my drinks in Kevin O'Brien.
Fantastic. He was a real contender for me too. He was a contender for me too.
I mean,
But I needed the bowler. I needed
a
the
man
bowler.
with no soul carrying my drinks. Incredible.
Wow.
It's incredible.
Oh, Kevin O'Brien.
I think I've got my bases covered there. You know, I got match winners.
Yeah,
That's what I
Good
came up
side,
with.
yeah.
That's what I got.
yeah. That's a
Good
pretty
balance.
decent side, Manny.
Good
That's
balance.
a pretty decent side. You've done well there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to say
Cool.
Matt, can I ask you something quick?
Yes.
So why do you think Lockie Ferguson bowls with a long sleeve? Like, do you know any other fast bowler that does that? I don't think so. And he rolls them up as well. Like, what's the point?
Yeah, do you know why? I think it is because I think to field in a long sleeve is so much better. So maybe it's a case of just roll it up so that it's like 3/4, like sitting like this, roll with it, and then when I field, I'm fielding with the long sleeve.
Just roll it back down, yeah.
Just roll it back.
Yeah, maybe he's keeping the sun off his arms or something like that.
Just doesn't look right.
It just
Yeah.
can't get right, Just can't get it right.
It's like a wicket keeper in short sleeves. Just doesn't look right.
Or
You know,
Grimmy, you keep it with the Grimmy.
Like, you know, the LPL puts pictures up of Dhani keeping, and I'm just like, we got to get this man away. I just want to show Mangy that, and Mangy, I know, will honestly have a stroke and just be like, oh, yeah, chat. Must have a lot to do there. That guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a bit of pace, bit of orthodox.
Yeah. I think we've done all right. I think, who do you think out of all of our teams, who do you, like for real now, who do you think will win?
Neutral ground.
Matthew's team.
Neutral ground?
Matthew's team.
Listen, but I've got Bumrah. No, I've got
Matthew's team.
Bumrah. I'm
Matthew,
cleaning up with Bumrah.
that team's too powerful. It's too powerful.
I think from a balance. Okay, listen, I think Garrett's got no balance. So it's me. No balance in that team. Who are your bowlers, Garrett?
My bowlers, my steamers.
No, who's going to bowl you 20 overs? I just want to know who's going to bowl.
Stark, Alzori Joseph, Rashid Khan, and Boyd Rankin was the other one. I'm under there. Compared to what you have.
Flying a lot of Stark and Rashid there.
Yeah.
Who are your bowlers?
I went batting top heavy. That's a problem there.
I don't know. I back my team. I'm sorry, but I do. I've got Quinny up top with Pereira. Yeah. I got our main man Williamson, Smith, Babar, Stokes. I proper bat until 8. I proper bat. Who do you have at 9?
Rashid Khan.
No, I've got Rashid Khan at 10. Okay, so if he goes to 9, because I got Bumrah, because I didn't know who's better there. So if he goes there, then I've also got. Then I can also bat to 9. Okay, well then Rashid Khan at 9, then I can also bat till 9.
Yeah, that's 9.
It'll be a good game, Matt. It'll be a good game. My overs are being bowled by Bumrah, Khan, Russell, Stokes, Boyd Rankin, and Hassan.
I think Rankin will get like one over there.
I know how you like to pick teams. And I know that you think you're short. You'd like a couple of extra options just in case.
No, actually not. No, actually not. Actually not. No. This is not the LPL.
Things go a little.
This is not the LPL.
I know you pick teams.
Yeah,
no, but I'd pay money to watch that game. I'd pay money.
Yeah, I would definitely.
I'd watch that game. Who do you think, if we had to pick a World 11, right?
Sorry, Matt, who's your captain?
Virat Kohli.
Virat Kohli, okay, yeah.
Virat Kohli, yeah.
Sorry?
Would you say India would be the team to play a World 11 team against? Or would it be Australia? Or would it be, which team would you say, or would it be India? Like if we think T20, or would it be West Indies?
Neutral ground. Neutral ground or in their home conditions?
Neutral. No, I think neutral ground. If we just pick like a good cricket wicket, who would be the country, and then who would be the World 11 team that we then select from? Who would you think?
Oh yeah, because if you pick that country, you'll cut out all the
England. Surely it has to be England.
What format?
No,
50
T20.
over. T20.
Yeah.
England.
Now, you'd have to rate Australia. They're not currently number 1 in the world in T20. They
Who won the
are.
World Cup
ICC.
though?
No, but ICC rankings. Yeah, but World Cup's passed. They've played games since then.
So
They are
Australia,
the current.
Australia versus
Australia is currently the number 1 test. They've gone past India in tests and T20. They won in both those formats.
Australia versus the rest of the world.
In Australia.
Yeah, in Australia, because those are good wickets.
Yeah.
Be a good game.
Okay, so who's the rest of the world team then? Because
That's
then it
good
would
question.
be no Smith in my team as an example. So I could have my team with no Smith. But now I could pick. But now I could pick more from certain countries.
Other
You
teams,
can pick. You
countries.
can double up from one country then.
Double up from one country.
I have no Glenn Maxwell.
You have no Maxwell. That's tough. Hey, you're losing a bowler and a gun finisher. You're unders now.
I'm worried about the bat that I'm losing out with Maxwell. I think.
Yeah. Now you're unders. I'm only losing Steve Smith. He's not that impactful in T20. I just picked him because I really like him. If I'm honest.
I'd have to say,
What about Jason Roy?
and then Butler to go and do Maxwell's job at 5. I could do that.
Let me just refresh.
So India, or I could go.
Hardik Pandya.
Hard Dick. That's what.
Hardik
Yeah,
Pandya.
yeah. I'm bringing the
A
dick.
fit Hardik Pandya is.
No, so what I'll do is, I lose Smith. I'm bringing Kohli.
Yeah.
My team's getting stronger.
I've just
I'll do that.
what? That's pretty much like for like. Hardik Pandya and Glenn Maxwell, both big shows with the bat, and then spin, but I don't need it because I've got Shaun Williams. Good old cool. Hey guys, listen, hold on.
I'm not like my laugh is. My laugh is not for my laugh is not for against Shaun Williams. It's just your absolute confidence in him. I love that.
He's a dude. Hold on. All-rounder ranking. Look at where he is.
What number is he?
Crazy.
What number is he? Sorry, I can't see. No, I can't see.
He's
Doesn't
number
show
2, guys. He's 2.
He's number 2.
I'm going to
Can't
send
see.
I'm going to screenshot it. Nabi is 1. Williams is 2. Maxwell is 3. Crisis champs.
Nobody had Nabi in the side. Everyone went for Rashid Khan.
Rashid Khan, I think. Got it. Rashid.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sweet, gents. Anything else for today? That's everything that's been on our agenda.
No, I think that's quite cool. That was good. Good stuff. We lost a couple of players though, so we're a couple of short. But
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was lekker. No, thanks guys. Thanks for your time.
Yeah.
And
Thank you, and thanks for
everyone.
everybody. Thanks for everybody who tuned in, and yeah,
same time, same place.
same time, same place next week.